Alright guys, welcome back to the Old Glory Red Report. There's your supporter channel for supporters by supporters. Mark Anthony, myself Casey J, back at you guys again. This is our top 5 video. Top 5 all-time SRFC players in our personal opinion. So stay tuned for that. We'll also announce the raffle winner, so stay tuned for that as well. Alright guys, if you're new to the channel, do make sure to hit the subscribe button, the little notification button. That'll get you all of our videos in the future. Do stick around to the end of this video because we will have the raffle for the World Cup Part 3. That was the gift card or the tickets, so we'll have that coming up. Stick around. But let's just jump into this top 5 list. Who is your 5th spot?
Rounding out my list here, number 5 to start it off, I have Jeremy Hall, current club captain of the Republic FC, captain last year as well. He does a thankless job in the defensive midfield. He also plays center back for us at times. So a well-rounded player, a respected player, and someone that Republic FC and the fans can always count on.
Nice pick. You know, Hall's a great player. For my number 5, I went with Danny Barrera, our previous captain, from one captain to the next. He came in at a tough time. We won the championship. He came in after that. We had a couple seasons that we didn't play as well as we did in that championship cup, but he kept the team strong. He kept us going forward. He had 6 goals in 62 appearances. He played a deep holding defender's position, so you didn't expect him to score a lot. He had a good foot, got the balls into the box for us. I just think an all-around good player, represented the shirt really well.
A lot of assists, great player.
Seriously, I think he did a lot for the club too in his time here as a captain. He led by a lot of example.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me, my number 4 is going to be Adam John. Now, I know this is going to be a hotbed one for some people. He didn't stick with the team very long. He was a loanee. But as far as representing the Sac Republic shirt, I think he's one of the top players to ever wear the shirt. He had, in the 2014 loan season for us, 17 appearances in regular league, 3 in playoff, and 7 goals. And in the 2016, 11 appearances with 2 goals. He was detrimental in us winning the cup that first season. So, for me, I think he's a top-notch player, represented the shirt very well.
Yeah, Adam John, great player. I'll disagree with you here, but again, let us know your thoughts on Adam John as Casey's number 4 pick. My number 4 pick is James Kiffey. Kiffey represented this club for 4 years. I just loved watching him play his swashbuckling type of left-back play.
Very good player.
Always got up the field, always a threat to play those balls in the box. Something that I think that we've been missing a little bit this year. But Kiffey, for me, played a lot of games. He represented the club well, very reliable, and always someone to keep an eye out for coming out of the back. So that's my number 4.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good pick. He's definitely been a top-notch player for us. He's maybe never had the most standout season, but has always performed very, very well, and that's something to take key for. So how about number 3? Who are you thinking?
Number 3, I have local kid, Cam Iwasa. He comes in at number 3 for me. I think that, maybe in a few more games or a year from now, he might be that number 1 spot for me. But he leads the club in all-time goals. I mean, this is going to be his 2nd season where he leads the team in overall goals.
Yep.
He's on a crazy pace. He's about to, I think he has the season record for most in one season, and he is definitely on his way to break that. So he's, for me, my number 3 local club legend, Cam Iwasa.
So for me, my number 3 is kind of another controversial one. I liked Tommy Stewart. I thought he was a player that was a joy to watch. Now, I picked a lot of attacking players on mine because of that joy to watch. I think you kind of went a little more defender-oriented on yours, which you like in more of that tactical mindset. But for me, every time I got to see Tommy Stewart play, I knew I was in for a good view. He had 47 appearances with 22 goals, which is a great. He was the first Northern Irishman to get a hat trick in our U.S. Open Cup. He did make some wonderful goals to help us out, to put us through in the playoffs. He was just a guy that did a lot in his short time at the club and was a joy to watch.
So first Northern Irishman to get 3 goals in
an Open Cup in the United States.
You guys should definitely remember that stat and tell your friends. It might make you sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so number 2. Is it me? Is it my turn?
Let's go ahead.
All right. My number 2 is legend, USL Pro Champion, MVP, Rodrigo Roro Lopez.
What?
He, I mean, what can you say? Let's start off with the miracle at Bonnie.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 goals in a second half. I don't know if Disney could have wrote a better script for the ending of that season, but especially that game. So, I mean, he was definitely our best player for at least the beginning of the club. Most likely both seasons that he played for the club. But great player, legend, part of the most historic season. Definitely the caveat to the most critical time of the season in that semifinal game against Galaxy at home. So that's my number 2.
Yeah, and I can't agree more with you on that pick. For me, my number 2 is Cameron Iwasa. You talked about him, and your number 3 pick looks like I'm just one behind you on or one in front of you on this one. You know, he's been terrific. He's gone away and hasn't performed quite as well. He's just a player that when he's here in SAC, we get the best out of him. He had 12 goals in his first season and 31 appearances with us. And this season, he's at 9 goals already with 21 appearances left. So he's got 10 more games to go ahead and put in 4 more goals and beat that
I think
season
he's going to
total.
do it.
And definitely think he's going to do it. For me, he's just been an outstanding on and off the field for the club as well. He's been a great presence in the media. He's been a great guy to come out and talk to the fans. So for me, all around, he's represented the shirt great for the Republic, and I think he's going to go down as one of the club's legends.
Great player, and you know what? His time in MLS didn't go as well as he would have liked, but it says something about his character to come back to a place where he's familiar with and comfortable and be just as good, if not better, than he was. So, I mean, it says something where, a lot of players can take that step back as a negative and maybe it affects their mentality, but it certainly has not affected Cam Iwasa's mentality this year.
Absolutely not. And I'm sure he'll get another chance with the performances he's putting in this season as well.
Yeah, he's young enough. He's definitely getting another chance.
Yeah. So on to the number 1. So my number 1 was Rodrigo Roro Lopez. You did state that he was a huge player, and I think he's going to go down as a club legend. No matter how short his time with us was, he got us that victory that first season. He was a key on keeping the team's mentality moving forward. His creativity, the goals he scored, it was just a joy to see. That whole season was just beautiful. But he was someone that really helped create the passion of that season. He'll go down for every Republic fan for years to come. He's my number 1.
Yeah, I think maybe one day when we get our MLS team in stadium, there might be a statue of him outside.
They might just have to put one out.
Yeah, the miracle at Bonnie is something that any hardcore Republic fan has not forgotten. If you have not checked out that game, you can YouTube that. Actually, it's a joy to watch. If you got 90 minutes to spare, just watch that entire game. At least watch the second half, but. It was awesome.
I've done it a few times.
Yeah, me too. My number 1, and I don't even know how he didn't make Casey's list, but Emre Clementa, he's number 1. He leads this club in all-time appearances, minutes played. I mean, he's the one player who's played on this team every season, at least in some capacity for us. Great player. He's played outside back. He's played center back. He's played mid. I mean, he's pretty much done everything we've asked him to. He's been arguably the best player at times for this club, but he's always been a key player for us. Very important. So he's my number 1. Didn't make Case's list, so let us know what your thoughts about that are in terms of him not being on Case's list and our list in general.
Hey, he's a good player. I don't take away from that. I just personally don't think he's ever been the standout player of a season for me. He's kind of ground out games. He's done well. He's got a good cross, but he's never really made those high impact on scoring on games. So those things are the things that left me out. If it was
scored a few goals, though.
He has scored a few goals. I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm just saying overall, for the time he's played for the club and as much as he's done, he didn't make my list. But if this list was more based on minutes played and player that grinds out wins and stuff, then he probably would have made that list. But for me, I kind of went more with players that I enjoyed to watch and I enjoyed seeing out on the pitch, and he just didn't make the list on that.
That beautiful assist he had didn't.
That was good. That was
didn't
good.
Change your mind?
No, not quite. He needs a few more of those in a single season, and then I'll change my mind.
I think you'll see a few more actually.
Hopefully, I hope so. But all right, so let's move on to the raffle. We do have the raffle for the World Cup Part 3 video coming up, so we're gonna go ahead and grab the hat. we'll give it a little shake up here. Make sure they're all nice and mixed up in there.
Yeah, and make sure to comment below your top 5. We want to hear who you think. I mean, even if you've only been a fan for a year or two, who are the top 5 players that you like to watch when they were here? So
yeah, as you can see, this can be a very, very different list depending on who you are and your style. So please do give us those.
There are
while
no
my
wrong
lovely assistant pulls us a name.
All right, the lovely assistant here will pull a name. All right. I have a winner, a new winner, different from the last two.
Okay.
Nicholas Salinas, you are the winner, my friend. I will be contacting you. Talk about how you can retrieve the $25 Visa gift card or 2 tickets to an upcoming Republic game. Not sure if you live here in town or not, or want to enjoy a game coming up, but either way, you'll get to pick the prize. Be on the lookout for that.
All right, guys. Make sure to go on our Facebook, our social media, and all that. Check up with all of that. Check out our videos by subscribing if you haven't already. Do comment. We love to hear from you. Make sure to put your top 5 down there. Tell us how bad our picks were, how good our picks were. We love to hear from you. Until next time, you got anything else?
Yeah, your top 5. Did you like my list better? Casey's list better? Everybody always likes Casey more, so
I'm just
we'll
likable.
see.
What can I say?
Yeah, I mean, you're like a nice fuzzy guy.
I am.
Nice. Look at that. It's like a little teddy bear.
All right, guys. Till next time.
Later.